Welcome, everyone. For those that don't know me, I'm Snyder. I've been meditating since 1976 and was authorized to teach in 2007. Been teaching here in the US, the UK, and Europe. Today, we'll be practicing innate goodness meditation. One of the great benefits of innate goodness meditation is that it's not dependent on any behavior or any way of our doing or anything we do. It's based on our beingness. It's a quality of our deeper nature, our true nature, which means that it's not conditioned. Innate goodness isn't born, doesn't die. It's always present for us without regard to what we do. So I'll give a little talk now, and then we'll go ahead and practice innate goodness. And I just want to mention again, with innate goodness, it's really a quality of resonance, a heart resonance that we can be in touch with. As I mentioned, it's unconditioned. That means it's not born, doesn't die, never goes away. So we can tap into it at any time, and it isn't dependent upon any of our behavior or anything we do. So the way that we'll do the meditation is that if you're a visual meditator, you will, in your mind's eye, picture a time either in your life or another person or pet, for example, some being where you have an easy time contacting their innate goodness. We might even call it childlike joy, just that spontaneous arising of goodness. And so if you're a visual meditator, you'll picture again yourself or someone else who's really embodying innate goodness. If you're not a visual meditator, then remembering a time of being young yourself when you had that innate goodness in your experience, or were around a newborn baby, a puppy, that kind of thing, that quality. Get in touch with that felt sense. What did it feel like to hold the baby or be with that puppy or yourself at a young age? Really, what was it like to be with that? Often it can be experienced as a warmth, a kind of radiance, just an okayness. Some people call it like being home. So we'll meditate on the innate goodness, allowing the quality of innate goodness from our deeper nature to be present. And when you're with the picture or the felt sense of innate goodness for 5 or 10 minutes without serious interruption, see if you can just rest your awareness in the innate goodness. So really kind of like floating in a pool or in the ocean. Just see if you can just float in the innate goodness that's present. I'm going to start with some posture instructions for anyone who hasn't heard them recently. It's a good thing to be clear about how to sit, what's supportive for your meditation. So starting off, feel your feet on the ground. If you're sitting in a chair, if you're on a cushion, feel the contact with the ground, your legs and feet contacting the ground. Take a moment to feel the support that the floor has holding you right now. And if you can sense it, feel the earth supporting the building you're in, the earth that's supporting all of us right now. Ideally, you want your knees to be a little lower than your hips. That supports a natural pelvic tilt. We want to be upright, yet we want to allow for the natural S curve in our back, in the lumbar region. If you want to make sure that you're centered well in your seat, you can rock a little to the left and right. Just make sure your weight is evenly distributed. And make sure you relax your shoulders. I like to imagine my shoulder blades melting down my back towards the floor. And this gives us a nice open chest for breathing and making contact with our heart area. We want to have our neck be loose. It's a place we hold stress. So if you want, you can just rotate your head a little, make sure your neck is relaxed, and find the right balance point of your head on your neck. You want your face to be perpendicular to the floor with your chin tucked down ever so slightly. If your chin is too high, that promotes thought and daydreaming. Tucked too much, and that promotes sleepiness and drowsiness. We want our jaw to be relaxed. It's one of the places we hold tension. So you can move your jaw a little bit. Just make sure you can feel the joint that connects your jaw to your skull, and make sure there's not a lot of tension there, some space perhaps there. Our eyes will be closed, and we'll rest our tongue against the upper palate of our mouth behind the front teeth. If that's not comfortable for you, you don't need to do that step. And just breathe naturally. You don't need to force a breath. It's not going to be helpful whether it's a extra breath or a short breath. So just let yourself breathe naturally. And we'll sit for about 20 minutes, and I'll ring the bell. Notice if your awareness has drifted from being with innate goodness. If it has, gently return it without criticism or self-judgment. in these last few moments before I ring the bell. See if you can stay close to innate goodness. Just let yourself be touched by innate goodness anywhere it wishes in your system.